Hi, I'm Sam. If you're new here, welcome. Believe it or not, I met my husband just 6 days before we got married, and in less than 3 weeks after that, we moved to a whole new continent and set up home. Now, that's another story for another day. But in the first few years of our married life, I really struggled with procrastination and getting things done around the house. Now, if you grew up in a home where you had a lot of help, like I'm talking about one or two, and sometimes even three full-time people who helped, cooked, cleaned, and organized the house, and then you move to a whole new country and you have absolutely no help available, it can get a bit challenging to even figure out where to start. In this video, I want to talk about 5 simple habits that I developed that helped me get out of the rut of procrastination, to stay on top of my daily chores, and I'm even going to tell you how I redeem my time doing them. My first habit is writing down my to-do list the night before. When I write down my to-do list the night before, it gives me a feeling that I'm already winning the next day. By planning ahead when the new day dawns, I immediately know the things that need to get done, and I'm not wasting time figuring out what needs to be done or what I need to be spending my time on. Or worse yet, I'm not at the end of the day regretting the fact that I have missed something very important to do that day. And on the days when I'm feeling extra ambitious, I go ahead and do 1 or 2 things that are on the list, or at least prep something that is on the list the night before.
Now this might seem like a simple little thing, but it can give you huge results. Isn't it said that tomorrow's success is planned today? Now if you never had the habit of making a list, I really want to encourage you to start making a list the night before. I'm sure it'll change your life. But for those of you who already are in the habit of making a list the night before, I want to give you a tip. For years, my list looked like laundry, dishes, cook, take the kids out for music or basketball or for other appointments, occasionally clean the closet, sweep the floor, pick up in the garage, gardening, all the everyday homemaker stuff, and those are all really good. But in the recent past, I've been looking at my list and there was really nothing much I was putting to help me grow as an individual or to feed my intellect. So I want to encourage you to ask this question: what is the most impactful thing I can do tomorrow that will help me in the long run? What will help me most 1 year from now? Those are probably not the most urgent things, but they are very important. How about reading a good book for just 20 minutes? We always think that, oh, I don't have an hour in my day or my schedule. But what about the 20 minutes that you do have? Or maybe study a certain skill in your area of interest. Just look at the list of things that you have planned. Look at the quality of it. It's just not the number of things that you want to do, but look at the quality of it. And that list will give you the clarity and focus you need, not just for the next day, but also for months and years to come.
My second habit is menu plan and batch cook. Breakfast, lunch, dinner are such basic everyday activities, but they can trip you up every single time if you're not prepared for it ahead of time, especially when you want to eat healthy or if your family has some kind of dietary limitations. I've been menu planning for over 8 years now, and it has definitely helped me a lot. I spend about 30 minutes or sometimes even less each week writing down the groceries I have and the meals I can make for the following week. That way, I'm not standing in front of the refrigerator scratching my head and wondering what I need to make for dinner that evening.
Also, menu planning reduces food wastage, and it really helps in maintaining a balanced diet, because when you write down what you want to eat in a week, you will make sure that you're putting down a good variety of food instead of making chicken or potatoes for the 6th time in the same week. Another hack that I have is I batch cook. I do not cook every day of the week. I only cook 3 times in a week. And batch cooking really saves me a lot of time, both in cooking and also in cleaning.
My third habit has to do with dishes and laundry. Walking into a clean kitchen every morning before I do my quiet time gives me such a sense of calm. I'm not bothered with the thought of piled up dishes waiting for me. This is the reward I remind myself when I tackle the kitchen the night before. For the days I feel extremely exhausted, I have a mental trick. I set the timer for 10 minutes to handle the kitchen, and when the timer beeps, I ask myself if I want to go ahead and finish the task or stop at that point and call it a day. More times than not, I end up finishing the clean and I thank myself the next morning. Another habit I developed is I always listen to faith-building sermons or personal development talks as I cook or clean or fold the laundry. I never do it alone. It makes me feel like I have company and I'm growing all the while as I do my everyday mundane tasks. Now when it comes to laundry, I learned that procrastinating doing it will lead to mountain loads of it and feel so overwhelming. It makes a 20-minute per day job take hours of weekend time, and it's definitely not an enjoyable way to live. Remember, procrastination is the fertilizer that makes your problems grow. In this case, it could be laundry or dishes. My fourth habit is I go around the house every evening or before I go to bed and pick up around the house for 10 or 15 minutes. Do you know that a cluttered environment leads to a cluttered mind? Or a cluttered mind is a result of a cluttered environment. Either ways, having a picked up home helps to relax my mind and keeps the mess from getting out of hand. Do you know that there is a connection between organized living and success? When you have clutter around your house, it will prevent you from thinking creatively or engage in some reflective thinking that could eventually help you grow as a person.
You know, after moving to the US from India, it took me almost a decade to realize that outer order in my house played a big role in having inner calm. Clutter really produces overwhelm. I have 2 young kids who love playing with toys, especially Legos, and my house can quickly turn into a bomb site if I don't pick up each night. So I quickly go around 10 minutes each night and pick up around the house and bring it to a stage. Even though it's not perfect, I bring it to a stage where I can breathe a little bit easy.
Last but definitely not the least is my habit of spending quiet time with the Lord. This is the time I spend in worship, prayer, reading and meditating on the scripture and journaling. For a long time I struggled with keeping this habit consistent, but over the past 4 years I have been having this habit steady in my life, and I have to tell you, this habit has helped me more than any other habit I've mentioned before. It is my core. It gives me the power, it gives me the strength to have the right attitude throughout the day. It keeps my focus in place. It helps me conquer my fear and panic attacks. It gives me the confidence to be the person I'm called to be. This one habit has helped me more than any other habit in my life. I mean, I'm not saying I have grown just spiritually, but it has helped me grow in so many other areas as well.
I also want to add a note about journaling, because in my opinion, I think it's very important to journal. It is not only a fun way to go back a few years and see your thinking or how your faith was, or even to go back and relive some answered prayers, but it is also a powerful way of reflecting to keep track of your growth or your progress. And it is also a great way of meditating, because I truly believe that when pen and paper meet, there is some power in it. Okay, just to recap, the 5 habits are: plan the night before, have a menu plan, do not procrastinate on dishes or laundry, take 10 minutes per day to pick up around your house, spend quiet time every day praying, reading and journaling. Now, whether you live in India or in the United States, or you have a lot of help or no help at all, keeping these habits will sure take you to the next level.
Although these habits seem very simple, keeping them has not only helped my life as a homemaker, but has helped me focus on what I really want to do with my life and my gifting, apart from everyday task of keeping my home an enjoyable space. I started having more time to do some creative and reflective thinking rather than constantly being bothered about what needs to be done or what I need to clean or the piles of laundry I need to get to. I hope implementing these habits will help you as much as they did for me in redeeming your time and to live a productive life. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I make videos on intentional living, conquering your fears, and personal development. I hope you join me for the next one.